okay, you're eating. There's like leftover waste when you eat ribs. Okay.
No, it's not.
There's-
You
What do you do with that? What do you do with the garbage? The ribs.
That's all you do. You're on an airplane, bro. Bing.
So you're gonna make this flight attendant take your messy.
That's their job.
Sauce covered.
Bro, that's their job, bro.
They didn't sign up for that.
They literally did sign up for that.
Not ribs. They signed up for peanut wrappers. Chris is in sub-Saharan Africa doing charity work and climbing mountains. So today we have a special replacement pod with the Butter King, Dr. Fax, Cowboy Reed, and the gang.
That's right.
Oh,
Having a nice little time in Studio J.
I feel like Jamal from The Replacements, who was played by Faison Love in that movie.
That's a good player comp for you, Fax.
Yeah, like I don't know if you were on or you were listening to any of the episodes, but back in college, the message boards when they used to do the lookalikes, I used to get Faison Love like probably every other week in college for comps when I had no hair.
That's a pretty good one. And I honestly, that scene where he shoots up the car is one of my favorite like comedic scenes of all time. Oh, I'm a son of a bitch! Son of a bitch! I'm a son of a bitch! You're gonna pay for it. No, I'm not.
No, I'm not. That's great.
Yeah. So you guys bring up replacements. It's not a full replacement show, but Chris is out of town, and we're taking over Studio J, having a good little time. And so we're gonna do Nate's Yellow.
And it is to Gate City, Virginia. Shout out to Mac McClung.
Yep.
He is what I found out from a very, 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 very small town. I did some research, and I don't know if census just hasn't been back there since 2010, but the stats on where he's from is from 2010, and there was a population of 2,034 people.
That's right.
Where the current dunk contest winner is from.
That's right. So he from Gate City, Virginia. He won the 2023 dunk contest, NBA All-Star Dunk Contest. He's played in the league, I think, a little bit. The Lakers.
4 games.
Four
games in the NBA.
Before the dunk contest, he got picked up by the Sixers.
Yeah, but not everybody around here loves him because he committed to Georgetown out of high school rather than UVA.
Yeah, and then finished his career at Texas Tech.
Wow. Could you imagine someone electric like that if they came to UVA? I couldn't even picture it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
He has some bounce. You saw clips of him going around on Twitter of him just like jumping out of the gym in some pickup games.
Yeah, the best thing about him winning is now like seeing his high school mixtapes and highlight tapes resurface, and now you see kind of like the people who train him or have workout videos with him, you see those start surfacing, and you really see like, wow, this kid has a lot of leg strength, and he's very, very bouncy.
We might have because of that basketball take. We might have some. We might have your basketball highlight tape resurfacing. We'll get into that in a little bit. But Beau, you might have a layup line for us.
I got a layup line, baby. Chris is away. I think you said last week when the cat's away, the mice will play. Anything goes to the layup line. I got a jaunty tune. It's called Mon Cherie by Sophie Tucker. I think you guys are going to like it.
What, Sophie Tucker, have you been listening to her for a while?
On and off. Nothing crazy, but.
And does she have any other good tunes?
Honestly, I need to do some more research on that one, Cowboy.
Sophie, so SOFI TUKKER.
Mm-hmm.
And it's how do you spell Mon Cherie?
MONCHERI. You know what it means in French?
I do not.
My dear.
My dear.
Mm-hmm.
Mon Cherie.
My darling.
Nice.
Ooh, sounds like a nice Riz line.
The song is in French as well. We're trying to get cultured on the pod, you know?
Yeah.
Thanks for elevating us, Beau. We appreciate that.
So that's a good...
Butter King does what he can.
Yeah, that'll be added to the Layup Line playlist. But back to basketball, we were talking about your high school mixtape. You had a little basketball interaction this weekend.
Yeah, so I participated in a local... they had a fundraiser / charity game. Unfortunately... a young gentleman from this area passed away recently, so they did a charity basketball game to raise money for the funeral and for the family. All the costs went to them. But it was a bunch of local guys and
local celebrities, right?
Yeah, it was local celebrities versus like kind of like the local. So like it was a bunch of people from the community, and I got picked to be on a team, and to my surprise, the team I ended up playing on, I was, I guess, good enough to start, and I thought I played pretty well.
Stats. What were your stats?
So my stats were I had 11 points and 12 rebounds.
Oh.
I had a few steals.
Double.
I'm not gonna lie, my knee is still stiff. My left knee that I had surgery on is still stiff. It was a very physical game, and I was very, very, very winded. But I was very pleased with my performance, mainly because me and my girlfriend have a little age gap, and she has not seen me do anything athletic and competitive, like in a competitive sense, ever. So her being there kind of like put a little more flame under the fire, like knowing that, hey, I have to, if I don't play well, like right now, the only like athletic memories or anything like that my girl has of me are basically now like just like old war stories, like and showing old video clips of me in the league and things like that. But to go out there and be able to perform, not get hurt, have a good time. My team did lose, which was unfortunate, but at the end of the day, it was all for a good cause, and it was a pretty good turnout. And I'm pleased with the videos that are circulating now from the game, and I got some highlights in there, so now I kind of have some proof.
Let's make a mixtape.
Yeah, exactly. It's not
Let's
just
get a
me.
mixtape, Dr. Facts.
It's not just me talking trash, that I can play a little bit of basketball, so it felt good.
I'll say from the video we saw, it wasn't just spot up threes. They were, you collected them. There were a couple off the dribble. You know, you off balance. You were leaning a couple ways.
And I got one with a hand in the face too.
Yeah.
I felt good.
Yeah,
I felt good.
Honestly, a couple with a hand in the face.
Yeah,
and good passes too. It seemed like a good atmosphere.
No, yeah, it was definitely a fun time, and it's definitely giving me a little itch. We talked about it like in house, but there's a local summer league that maybe leaning towards wanting to participate or be involved some type of way now, that got a little itch, and playing against like most of the guys that are involved with that league during this game, it seems like something that it would probably be enjoyable. And at the end of the day, I think my only thing I'm scared of is just playing outside on concrete.
Well, and we might have a ringer for our team now. Yeah. You might be the ringer, bringing everybody in. I don't remember the last time I played basketball. I don't know if Kingston, it's been a while for you, but Beau,
what are you talking about, Reed? We played 2v2 with Macon and Scott the other day.
Yeah, basketball. Yeah.
In office?
Yeah, in office mini hoop basketball.
How are you on that?
Well, no,
really,
I'm terrible
really
at all.
intense.
Yeah, I'm terrible at
really
all.
Physical.
Yeah, it's
you seem like a defensive fouler guy. You seem like a guy that's going to take all 5 fouls. And are you going to die for a ball? I don't know. Maybe. I
not
think,
in here. There's too many sharp corners.
Yeah, but I think in the game, I think you would be the guy that's on the ground diving for the ball.
Yeah, energy, hustle.
Has Beau, have you ever played basketball?
Oh, my God. Let me tell you guys about the last time I played basketball. I remember it vividly. So this was also, it's like you, Facts, this was a celebrity basketball tournament, or a game, actually, when I was in Philly. And it was kind of I kind of underestimated how big of a deal it was. There's a packed house at Delaware University. It was kind of the dead season, the dead point in the off season in Philly. It was probably like 2015. There was no guys around. Mm-hmm. And so it was me, Vinnie Curry, and my buddy Will Murphy, who was a practice squad wide receiver in Philadelphia at the time. And I think it was like our media guy or something, like set it up. Like we were getting paid to do this. It was like $1,000. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'm doing this. I'm on my first deal. $1,000 playing this basketball game. Bro, I grew up in Minnesota, okay, playing hockey. I've never fucking played basketball. I played like rec league basketball with my boys. Didn't agree to do this thing. Like we had these sick jerseys made. Like that's pretty much half the reason I did it. I had this 94 Eagles like black jersey. It looked sick. Like I borrowed some shoes from my buddy Connor Barwin. It it was the most embarrassing and pathetic athletic performance of my life, dude. We went out the night before, like hard, randomly. Woke up, we're like, dude, we have to go to this basketball thing. We totally forgot about it. So one of our friends, Mel, picked up me and Will Murphy. We were just reeking of whiskey. Drove like an hour down to Delaware, stopped at Taco Bell along the way, just chugging Gator Lights, like trying to get our mind right, talking each other up, like, dude, this is going to go great. Like, we'll be fine. Like, there's just like normal people, man. Like, we're like professional athletes. Like, we're football players. We'll be great. Strapped on the shoes, dude. Did not score a single point. Was out there sweating profusely the entire time.
No. How many shots did you take? How many shots did you take?
Like 4 or 5. I airballed the first shot. Our friend Mel was sitting up in the stands, and she overheard people talking like, these guys play for the Eagles? Like, these are professional athletes? It was so bad. We drove out of that bitch in complete silence on the way back. And the media guy like texted us like, heard it went really good today. Like, great job. We were like, yeah, it totally went really good. Like, when did we get that paycheck? It was absolutely horrible. It was so bad that every year on the anniversary, Murph, he'll text me a picture of us just like hands. We're like gassed, like hands on our hips, so sweaty, and just be like, hey, this is the anniversary, man. Let's never be like this again.
Yeah. That's the kind of thing where I feel like the performance you gave, you have to get the check before you leave the building.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bad. It made me really question like everything about myself. So I haven't played basketball since. We all know that I'm a pickleball guy now. You know, Chris doesn't let me talk about it on the podcast, but he's fucking gone, so we can talk about as much pickleball as we want.
I sent you a video, and I kind of feel like the video of that female I sent you playing pickleball, I feel like the contenders here was going against is probably what like you and your partner look like. You guys are probably like out there looking real cocky, and I feel like we should try to spam her so like we could set up a match. Dude. Yo, she's
Jenna
really
Banny.
good.
She's actually like really athletic too. Like you go on her Instagram page, like she's doing all sorts of different sports. The best thing about that.
So she's better than you in pickleball.
Come on now.
Like
I would dot her.
Do you
body
think
shots
so?
only?
Think so?
Hey, there's only one way to find out, facts.
She was putting some spin on those serves, man. Can you? So spin. Do you and Ryan Griffin and the fellas? You guys put spin on your shots? You guys know how to handle it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll be playing later today. We got a good little crew. I'll see if I can get like some highlights or something. We'll strap on a GoPro. We'll make some content out of it.
That would be perfect. A Beau Pro.
Because I'm not gonna lie. I feel like you're embellishing your pickleball skills just a little bit. Just because I went out there and I tried it a little bit, and I seen a few people play, and I'm not a tennis player. And I feel like it's something that if you're good at tennis, you're probably awesome at pickleball. And just the motions is not football-esque. But you said you played hockey, so maybe you can swing the racket differently. So I'll give you that, but I had to see some video, man.
We should have played in Arizona, man. That's like pickleball mecca right now.
Bro, you didn't stay long enough to do anything, man. You missed everything.
You're talking to FOMO Bo right here, facts. I haven't seen you since Arizona, so we haven't really had time to go over this. But like, you guys had me fucked up talking about all the fun stuff you were doing on Friday because I left at 6 a.m. on Friday.
No,
Matt
but I'm
drove me to the
mad
airport
because I want to know what happened in the fucking party that we didn't get into that you graciously, luckily got into, you and Chris. And I'm not going to lie. I was salty because I'm like, hey, I'm an ex-player too. Can I go in? And they're like, and you guys Chris and Calais Campbell's like, yeah, peace out. There's other clubs over there, guys.
Let me tell you exactly what happened. We're standing in line forever. B. Nelly was working his agent stuff, trying to get us in. And I turn around, and there's the biggest motherfucker in the entire world I've ever seen. And he goes, hey, what's up, man? I'm Calais Campbell. And I was like, yeah, dude, I fucking know who you are. Like, I play football against you, and you're fucking massive. Everybody knows who you are. And so he's talking to the bouncer to, like, get him in. The bouncer was, like, real gunshot. You know how bouncers will be, you know.
Yeah.
You give them a little shred of power, and they love it.
Oh,
but,
my
like,
God.
They were
doorman is the worst.
Real timid around Calais. So Calais, like, gets, like, 15 people in. Chris is getting in, and I'm kind of, like, left out there in the dust. I was like, hey, Calais, don't forget about me, man. He's like, all right, this guy's with me too. And I just followed him all the way into the club. So if you ever need a pass to get into the club, just get in his hip pocket, man.
Okay, so that party that you got into that night, what stars and celebrities were in there? Like, what party was that?
And then we'll tell you about the Drake party.
Honestly, I think it was Rick Ross, man. And Chris and I met Rick Ross at our like Super Bowl ceremony in Philly. So like we go way back with Ricky Rose. Like we're pretty good friends of his. I'm surprised we weren't on the list. But we were catching up. We saw a bunch of Eagles guys. We were catching up with Camus. I went to buy a shot of tequila, like a shot of beer, classic little move when you get into the bar.
$20?
Yeah. Dude, listen to this. So the bartender was like, I was like, yeah, okay, it's like 5 shots of tequila, 5 beers. And she's like, yeah, sure. Like, what do you want? I was like, I don't care anything as long as it's not rail.
$230.
$450. Ooh. I was like, okay, this ain't rail. But like, I just paid it and just like, oh fuck.
Hell no. You paid that?
Yeah, dude, I was drunk already. Whatever. Just that's a write-off, man. It's a business expense, I'm not
How many shots and how many beers?
5 shots, 5 beers, $450. Yeah, I was like, I should have been like, hey, can you put this on Calais' tab?
At the Cash App party, all the tequila was free.
Exactly.
All the
Everything
Taco
was
Bell too.
Free, and there was waitresses with Taco Bell, bro. Pizza tacos, crunchy gordita wraps, bro.
How much did you eat, Fax?
Yo, actually, it saved me because our journey home that night was crazy, waiting to get food and waiting for a car. So I had about like 4 tacos. I shoved like 4 tacos like down my throat quick.
Yeah.
Before we left, and honestly, I think it saved me.
Because it did take us a damn hour and a half to get food from Filiberto's. Not their fault. It was 4 in the morning or whatever the heck. But Cash App sure put it on.
You had a full day on Friday, man. So
boy, did we have a full day.
Oh, man.
Waste management open.
Yeah.
It was
you missed a lot. You missed a lot, dude. Dude, no, but what else you missed, bro? Well, I don't know if you're really into weed like I am and like the rest of the guys, but going into a dispensary and be able to get an ounce of whatever you want, like that was pretty dope. It was a lot of fun, and if any dispensaries hear this and they want to offer it to us, we will gladly come because that is a fun experience, and we had a blast. What else did we do? The waste management. I think that's something we should pencil in. As long
every
as
season.
If it doesn't collide with Super Bowl week, like the waste management, I think it's right up. It's right
everyone's
up our
alley.
Yeah.
You did a great job inspecting all the porta potties.
Oh yeah, yeah. They were
all up to
fucking
code.
Gross, gross. Some of the scenes at the porta potties is just like, I don't know how people just like I don't know. I like people going to the bathroom in public, or maybe it's just that you just get so drunk. I don't drink like that to the point I get blackout, or I'm like feeling like I'm about to shit on myself or whatever. So I don't understand, but the scenes at the porta potties like there was absolutely treacherous and disgusting.
Yeah, there were some nasty. You sent through some nasty pictures, but also like it was a weird environment. And Beau, you went there on I think on Thursday. It's it's a golf tournament, but it's really just a massive party while people are playing golf.
I think I seen about maybe 2 shots.
Yeah, that's what Kyle said.
I seen one guy putt randomly because when we were in the corner and we were talking to Bob Menery and that fake caddy who thought I was LeGarrette.
I see you, LeGarrette.
Who swore I was LeGarrette Blount. During that interaction, there was someone putting like in the background, and I happened to look, and they missed the putt. And I think I maybe watched one guy tee off on 16, just one time, and I don't remember any other golf going on.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
And
much.
do we know, like, the whole thing is, like, people really waiting for the 16 for someone to potentially hit a hole in one on the 16.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen.
No one got a hole in one, at least while we were there.
Okay.
But yeah, the 16th, And I think that was where you were, Beau, right? On Thursday the 16th. So it's at Stadium Hole, seating all around. They'll boo you if you don't hit it on the green. They cheer, they go crazy. Last year, and you would have seen
Chris were
this.
there for the streaker.
Yeah, you guys saw the streaker, and last year, you would have seen this if you watched the Full Swing Netflix documentary. But Harry Higgs and Joel Damon are playing together. Harry Higgs is probably like a 40-foot putt. And they're like the early group. They're like bottom of the leaderboard. They're the early group. They're playing by themselves. And so they go. Higgs hits this putt. It goes in, rips his shirt off, and then all the fans just start raining beers down on the golf course. So there's just beers covered all over the place. And then Joel Damon rips his shirt off. And then whatever other beers they can find just start launching them.
Like
all these fans.
Cheering?
Cheering. Let's go. And you see it erupt like trying to think of a good compliment, but I'll show you the video. It's just like an explosion of beer in the stands.
No,
I just started watching Full Swing Cowboy. It's pretty good, man.
It's good, isn't it?
Episode 1 last night. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I like the JT and the Jordan Spieth little stuff they had, and then
the frenemy.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it wild how they're just like, you want to do like $100 a hole? Oh, how about this chip for $100? Yeah. Oh, let's bet on this for $1,000.
They probably play so many practice rounds together, just trying to recreate some sort of competitive atmosphere.
Exactly.
I honestly feel like it's a blessing that I'm not good at golf, because honestly, I feel like golf is something, like, for me personally, I knew if I was good, I would take any bet at any time.
Right.
Like it's like one of those games. Like if you're confident, like in your game, it's just like, I'll take money off you, easily.
And it's a game that you can bet on anything. You want to outdrive this hole? Let's play. Closest to the pin. Bogey up, bogey down. Skins.
Well, those dudes are degenerates too. And then in the like Michael Jordan's famous for gambling on golf, but like JT and Spieth in the plane on the way to like, I don't know, some match, they're betting on like
PGA,
high card.
I'm not gonna lie, in my video game days, playing Tiger Wood, like I used to get really competitive with my friends. Like being able to use the analog and get it the right way for power shots and things like that. I remember how competitive that you would get with that, and I could just think about doing that in real life, just being like, if I was really good, because I see a lot of my friends play, but it's just like maybe it's because football, like my back doesn't have it. You gotta have these guys have really strong cores and low backs, because you don't realize just sitting there swinging for 4 to 6 hours straight, like that shit takes a toll on you.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. You can get sore after just 1 hour on the range,
dude.
And then these dudes do it all day.
It was 2 15-minute running halves this basketball game 4 days ago, and I'm still stiff. So it's just like, sheesh.
Yeah,
I feel you, Facts. I'm still recovering from that celebrity basketball game, man. I haven't been the same since, bro.
So I guess you guys aren't planning on signing with the XFL.
Oh yeah.
I got in a debate with these dudes I play pickleball with. Scotty Miller, wide receiver for the Bucks. He's to be a free agent soon, but he asked me, he's like, could you play in the XFL today? If they called you up, could you play? Because
you told them no, right?
I was like, fuck yeah, I could play, bro. I'd be out there every snap, but
honestly,
would I play? No,
but honestly, you probably wouldn't be that good right now, would you?
Come find me, bro. Come. Hey, why don't we fucking?
What position, bro? Like honestly, I feel like honestly, if you were in the XFL and I was in the XFL and I played offensive line, there's no way you're being productive in a game against me.
Hey, next time we're together, man, we'll do a one-on-one. I'm gonna fucking bull rush you to oblivion. Let's see how your back feels after that, rap.
I'm cutting you. I'm a smart player.
I'm gonna hurdle you, bro.
Hurdle?
I'm gonna hurdle you.
You're gonna have to prove that to me, bro.
Actually, though, I bet you we could play O-line in the XFL, because I was watching. What game was I watching? The Orlando.
That's the weakest spot in the league right now.
They can't find any O linemen.
I wonder. Do you think if Kyle put us through like a year of training, like by next season, like we could be like low tier, like XFL, like maybe like backup or starting like O lineman?
I'm not even sure it would take a year. I feel like you guys
you give me a
do
summer.
a month. Yeah,
you give me 2 months of training with Kyle. little pass that little,
Yeah.
the shit Joe,
A little
Joe
technique,
Thomas was
that's
saying
all you'll
on the
need.
pod
Yeah,
last
see,
week, a little
if I play-
alternate hand punch. I think
Yep.
I could get in there and play center, work on my
Yeah.
snaps a little bit.
Yeah, I think I would be like probably a decent pulling guard. Like, because honestly, with my confidence, I think I can take on like one-on-one like blocks, like blocking someone for a couple of seconds. I think I can do that without like getting a penalty. But it's just like everything, taking on games and picks and flying down linebackers. I think that'll be a little tough.
And
but-
honestly, I feel like the XFL for you guys, just in your mind, could be a training or a proving ground for a position you never played before, like the O-line. Say Kyle wanted to be a tight end or some shit.
Yeah.
Chris wanted to be like, fuck
a
it, I'll play
blocking
quarterback.
tight end. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, we're in a dead period right now of, no football. It's, we got the combine as kind of the next big thing for the NFL. So it was a little bit fun to watch some of the XFL stuff over the weekend. Like I said, I watched that game, and then Wade Phillips is the coach.
Yeah.
For
Hines
the
Ward is a coach.
Houston Roughnecks. Yeah, Hines Ward, and it's interesting too because all the head coaches in the XFL are GMs. And so then I was thinking, like, I loved the 2001 XFL season. Like, this is the third iteration. They did one in 2001. Which I think we all kind of remember. Like, I was telling you guys the other day, like, I had a XFL football. Like, that thing it was so sick. It was black.
Football.
It had the big red X on it, the silver laces.
I'm trying to think how I got my hands on that, but I definitely had that same exact football. And I just remember being young and low key wanting a "He Hate Me" jersey when that
It's
started.
the coolest thing.
Have being able to have your nickname like on your jersey, and if you were like good like he was, that was pretty cool.
What would you put on your jersey, on the back of your jersey?
Like right now, Dr. Facts, but probably like when I was playing, probably like Big Nate or Nasty Nate, probably most likely
going-
Nasty Nate.
If we play in the XFL, let's say we play next season, I'm a center, you're a left guard. You do doc. I'm just doing straight emojis on the back of my jersey.
Oh no, yeah, that'll be fire.
I'm gonna change it up every week depending on like what my mood for the week is.
No, I'm just gonna put the black doctor emoji in the fax machine, like on my
Yeah,
back.
exactly.
Everyone's gonna be like, "What the hell is that?"
I'm doing emojis on the back of my jersey. You guys can decipher this shit.
Honestly, those would be highly purchased jerseys in the
I think
XFL,
Shop.
whatever. Yeah, shop.
Let's mock up some green light XFL jerseys for me and for the Butter King and Dr. Facts.
Oh, they'd look
But
so good.
Some of those 2001 rules were hilarious. So like no opening kickoff. They have the opening scramble, they called it, or like two dudes just race for a ball. It's almost like a face-off in lacrosse. And then so I was watching some clips of that. That shit was so fun. I mean, we do that back in the day, and like I guess I was in middle school with that big black XFL football. Is so fun. And then 2001 rules, like they had no fair catches or no kneeling in the end zone. So I was on YouTube just watching clips of people getting destroyed.
Yeah,
the
no halo rule is crazy to think
I
about.
know.
Like that could seriously get someone killed. Like the no halo rule.
I love how they like leaned so far into the like this is a more aggressive form of football, like this is extreme football, and now kind of, I mean, with some of the rules of the XFL, like I was brushing up on those after watching that game, and it's interesting because like they kind of got away from that a little bit. Like I was hoping maybe they lean into that, but with player safety and everything, and it just feels like they're trying to, try out some rules that people have talked about on like social media and stuff, and in the media that might be better for for the game. So it is interesting to see how some of these rules might affect the game going forward.
I tweeted this. As of now, I don't hate it. Like I don't hate the product that was put out there. I think The Rock and his team, they did for the first week. I think they did a great job. It just like we were saying, we love football here. We absolutely love it, and for him to put a product out there that is just not immediately, we live in a world that like if it was bad product, everyone would have been shitting on this, like been like, yo, this is terrible. What the hell is The Rock doing? And I think from this first week, this revamp, and maybe the COVID year helped that they couldn't start, and they really got stuff together. I kind of like what was put out there, and it's something that for a guy like like when I was playing, I was on the fringe, and when I got hurt in the NFL, your next step thinking about getting back into the game, I was confident enough that, hey, I can go to Canada and do my thing in Canada. If my body responds the right way, like then if it's meant to be, I'll get back to the league. But a lot of guys are afraid to do that. For one, you're not trying to really leave the country. And then with the CFL, you have to sign a 2-year deal, and that's scary for a lot of guys because in a perfect world, you want to play 1 year. You're like, oh, I'm going to ball out on these Canadian dudes, and then like the NFL team's going to want to pick me up. And it doesn't really happen like that. So having this be an option now where you can make $60K like right after a season if you're on a practice squad and or if you're a fringe guy, maybe just got cut, and you can stay in shape and you can put some good film. And like you're saying, you're playing with real coaches and real guys. And at the end of the day, it's something where it's also about relationships. These coaches, they still are like have relationship with other coaches in the league, and they can get the insight, hey, how's this guy really doing in practice? How's this guy as a person? Like, should we give him another chance? And it's something where if you're doing the right thing, like you can use this as a real good opportunity for some of these guys to maybe get back. Or, hey, if you want to just play football after college and you want to play at competitive level and make some money, it's still a pro game, and at the end of the day, you're still playing football to make money. So if you love the game, it's a great option.
And for the folks watching on YouTube, you've got your CFL jersey on. It's looking real good.
The Rock isn't slick. He's not the only one, guys. When you put on a game jersey, it makes you look big
pretty
and
trim.
ripped. But The Rock, he looked good, and I'm not gonna lie. His opening speech, it got me kind of hyped. Like it's funny seeing him in the jersey. It got you hyped enough
to think you could play O-line in an XFL game.
Exactly. It's just like, yo, this is your and everything he said was true. It's just like, hey, some of you guys, like, it might be your last chance, but hey, like if you put your best foot forward, like you can make some money, or you can just keep the dream alive of playing a sport. Like everyone doesn't have to be in the NFL. Like to play. It's
good
football.
for the National Football League as well to have a minor league. Like if you look at all the other pro sports,
we don't have a D league.
They have good developmental leagues.
Yep.
Like that's important. I hope the XFL continues to succeed.
Well, I was buzzing through the roster too. There are actually some guys, on these XFL rosters that have pretty good NFL experience, and some guys that were like pretty high draft picks. I mean, look at Vic Beasley. He's in Vegas. Martavis Bryant. There's a lot of like Karan Reed.
AJ
went to
McCarron,
Princeton.
right?
He played it for the Lions for a while. AJ McCarron,
and that's cool.
Brad Wing, punter. I mean,
I think his story is cool. AJ McCarron, and for guys who like maybe you are a quarterback and maybe you have kids and like, hey, you feel like, hey, maybe I don't want to play in the league, but I still got it, and I can go out there and I can play for a few weeks. And like he said, he's like, my kids only get to see me on YouTube, so they want to see me play some real action. And even if he doesn't play any more games, he actually got to get out there and do it. His kids were in the stands. So I think that's a cool little factor also.
Yeah, and you said it. It's another option. We'll get into these kind of rules and stuff in a second. But yeah, it's another option for these guys. It's kind of the NFL dead period, right? For these guys who they're not. They've already went through the draft process and free agent signings. But they just want a shot to get stuff on tape to have a shot, and the partnership.
And the rules
you were talking about.
The rules is like if you're on a practice squad, you can still.
If you're on an NFL practice squad, you can come over to the XFL, put more tape out, get more chances. Nice. And a lot of these coaches still have the ties to NFL locker rooms. Wade Phillips, Jim Haslett, Hines Ward, Rod Woodson. They're all well-respected guys in NFL circles. If they say, "Hey, this guy really, played well for this XFL team," put him on your, summer camp list. Like, get him out here.
But I like it too for guys too, because if you're on a practice squad, you're not making the same amount of money as everyone on the regular roster, and this is a chance that, hey, like in my off season, I can make an extra $60K or whatever it is, and then like if you play in a team where you're winning, you get those win bonuses. I like it for that aspect. You stay in shape.
Love the win bonus.
Exactly. You stay in shape. You keep money in your pocket, and like potentially like you're hopefully you're getting better for your next shot at the NFL.
It's also great for those young coaches of color that you mentioned, guys like Hines Ward and Rod Woodson. Like the NFL, for whatever reason, has not been very progressive with giving former players of color chances right off the bat, and it wouldn't surprise me at all to see them
But
succeed.
that's my thing. Like, is even if they do exponentially like put up great numbers, all that, do you think that will be a factor to help them, like if they're trying to move up to the next level?
I do think so. Yeah, it's a foot in the door at least.
It's a great training ground. It's a great spot. You know, Jeff Saturday would have been much more accepted if he had started in this kind of role rather than pulled right into the Colts.
So do you think that's something that guys would respect, say, if they got Jeff Saturday? Or do you think Jeff Saturday now, like, there's no way I will ever go back down to coach something like that because I already got a chance in the league?
I feel like it would be hard for him to go back to the XFL starting like that. But as a first year for someone to head coach for the first time with no previous experience like Jeff Saturday had, it's a much more appropriate training ground almost. But let's run through
some of these rules.
Yeah, man.
Let's hit some of these rules, Reed, because I think they are a little bit different than some NFL rules and could lead to some interesting discussion here.
Yeah, so starting with the kickoff, and we saw this plenty, but you saw them line up 5 yards apart. So it's not like you don't get a full sprint to come down at each other, and you guys have probably been on or have been up close and personal to the wedges on kickoffs, you know? But
yeah, back in the day, the wedge was a bloodbath, man.
It didn't sound fun.
No, I was telling these guys, Leger, were you there? Yeah, Leger Douzable, who hopped on a live show with us. Me and him were on the wedge together in Jacksonville, and we used to give guys concussions weekly, because we were two big-ass dudes, and we knew, hey, if we run through full speed and none of us, like clam up at all, like, no one's going to blow through us. Like, nobody is going to blow through us. And I think about that now, and it's literally a car crash. It's super
you could
dangerous.
link arms with your guys too. I think you could have a three-man wedge at that point.
No, it was two. They had broken, but
wedge?
in college,
Yeah.
I definitely was a part of a 4-man wedge my first couple of years, and that's probably the easiest, like the most dangerous thing, like in football.
I'll never forget in college, you had that wedge. Guys are linking arms. There's a guy on the kickoff team who's the wedge buster.
Yep.
He's basically just some linebacker that's a psycho. Who's not afraid of CTE. Who's going to run downfield
Every
and
team
bust
has
the
it.
wedge. Yeah, and then one game, this dude hopped the wedge. He jumped over the wedge. The dudes with the linked arms, and he made a tackle. So then the next play or the next kickoff, he tried to do it again, and the wedge. It was like some shit out of any given Sunday. The dudes on the wedge lifted up their arms and clipped his legs out from underneath him, and he went ass over tea kettle. He did not try to hop the wedge again.
So that's what's cool about what the XFL is doing is that they're encouraging kickoff returns, not to kneel it, but also doing it in a safe way that no one's looking to get injured.
I think I like that, and it's still showcasing for special team guys. It's about winning one-on-ones, and by having the guys close like that, and then you can't move until the returner catches the ball. I think that will exponentially take down injuries, but also with NFL players, I think it looks different, and I'm intrigued to see what that will look like with NFL, good on good, special team guys, the best on the best. How that would how that would change the game, and would that make it that much easier or harder for returners? Because in my head, it says that there's a lot more return touchdowns in the NFL if you do change it, which maybe we like. But I don't know. But it would be interesting to see. I do
less
like that
space, so it is interesting.
Yeah,
it's a more condensed area, so kind of gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. All right, what else you got for us, Cowboy?
So moving down this rule list, we've got 3 timeouts per half, 35-second play clock. After touchdowns, you've got a tiered extra point system. So you get a 1 point attempt from the 2 yard line, 2 points from the 5, or a 3 point from the 10. And Kingston was running through the math. It might make the most sense to go for 3.
I think if you evaluate your odds, if it's the end of the game and you just need 1 point to win or go ahead, then of course you take the 2-yarder. But yeah, I would say like generally if you score first or it's early in the game, you should go for 3. I think it's the most expected points.
What I was confused on this is you have to run a play. You can't kick or you can kick.
It has to be
it has to be a play. So after you score, so they're taking out kicking, a little bit of kicking, like you only kick in just regular field goal.
Right.
Basically.
It also makes comebacks more accessible. Like let's say you're down 18, that could be 2 touchdowns.
Yes, I get that.
So I like it a lot.
More expected points. Let's bring analytics into XFL. I like
and
it.
It's way more betting. More betting opportunities.
More betting, more action, more points. It's interesting.
So then we've got touchback rules. If a team fumbles into an opponent's end zone and the ball goes out of bounds without being recovered, it's not a touchback. Instead, the offense regains possession. So that's one that every time it happens in the NFL, on Twitter, everyone's like, what the fuck does this mean? This makes no sense. So now the XFL is trying to, or is, simplifying it, making it more understandable so the offense just kind of retains possession.
Because in a league, like the other team, you have to punt it, right?
Yeah.
It's the punt.
Yeah, it changes possession. Then also we've got reviews. So all reviews from the replay booth in the XFL, the 2020 coaches will have 1 challenge per game. It's a golden challenge, so they can use it on any play, any penalty in a game. Doesn't matter when or where can be thrown out. So that's, some of these penalties. We saw it in the Super Bowl. They could review it while it was the right call. They could throw a review, and they might even in the XFL they might even be able to see, because what we saw in the Super Bowl. He had the jersey, but also there was the hands to the face. On the D line. So it might be able to bring up another penalty offsetting. There's also
I'm not going to lie. I don't like how Dean Blandino is there, and I feel like the officiating and them getting the calls right were quicker and better when he was there working on these games versus how it is like with the NFL when they're asking the questions and they have Dean, they're going to Dean asking, hey, what's going on here? I feel like the XFL, they did a pretty good job with getting whatever was going to be called or whatever was going on. I feel like they did a real good job. And I feel like in that aspect, it kind of made the NFL look bad after a season where the officiating was talked about like a bunch in a negative aspect.
Right.
Speaking of making the NFL look bad, like I want to know what you guys think about the overtime rules. Overtime in NFL has obviously been massively controversial. In the XFL, each team gets 3 attempts from 5 yards out, and the team that completes most of those successfully wins. What do you guys think of that?
I would like it if it's from 10. I just feel like the game of football is consistently getting 10 yards for a first down. But at the same token, it does shorten the field, which in the red zone, it does make it a little harder to score. So I'm not mad at that.
It helps the defense, right? If you're in the 5-yard line.
Yeah, but in 5 yards, it's just one play, right?
Yeah, you do it 3 times, but it's just one play to score.
You do it 3.
So you have 3 attempts from the 5. You could complete 0, 1, 2, or 3 of them. Okay. And whichever team completes the most from the 5 successfully scores on that possession wins the game.
I like it. I think we have to see how it unfolds. I think, it's going to be very interesting to see what teams go with there. Wasn't the original rule in 2020 or something like that? If, let's say you get the first possession overtime and you score on the second attempt, then the opposing team would only get 2 attempts, right? So each team gets 3 attempts no matter what under this iteration in 2023?
Right. A minimum of 3,
And if they're tied, they just keep going.
Got it. That's interesting.
I like that for the aspect that there's any ballsy coaches and you really you have them out there. It's just you line up and you run the 3. You run ISO 3 times in a row and let them know, hey, my big guys are going to push your big guys.
Nate and Beau are going to block you guys into the end zone.
Oh,
These
man.
fucking washed NFL D linemen are going to block the shit out of you.
That would be great.
And then, and we saw this a couple times, but the XFL does a 4th and 15 instead of an onside kick. We saw 1 success, 1 incomplete 4th and 15, but to retain possession instead of an onside kick, 4th and 15.
Has to be in the
XFL
quarter.
just hates kicking. They're just removing all kicking from the game.
No,
but I like that. I think that's interesting. I think that's a fun little change up. You know what I mean? I'm all for these crazy XFL rules.
Bro,
Like let's make it even crazier. Let's keep going. Let's keep going in that direction.
That in the NFL, like it can get nasty real quick. Playing someone like Kansas City, 15 yards to get 15 yards quick, bro. The other team's offense would never ever get the ball. Yeah, they would never ever get the ball because it's just like, yo, that's too easy. Like even like the Eagles, like a quick, anything like
just
15
throw it up
yards.
to AJ Brown.
15 yards, that's too easy.
Yeah, some of these teams just have those plays scripted.
I do like it for the XFL, but at the same time, like defense got to show up. You got to play defense, and I mean that's part of the game. But I do feel like that can get a little gimmicky because I don't think it's that hard to as a coach to have a bunch of 4th and 15 plays that are probably going to be like somewhat sure shots to get a first down.
Well,
so like if you have a penalty, like a PI or something like that, that's a first down, right? In that scenario?
Yeah, depending on how many yards, but yeah, it'd count. And we saw the St. Louis Battlehawks successfully 4th and 15 count it to win 18-15. It helped in their comeback.
They have the best fans in the XFL.
They do, and it helps. They don't have.
Is that
NFL
the jersey
team,
he wore? Because I didn't like that with The Rock that he picked one team to win because it feels like you got favorites now. Like why do you pick that?
The
jersey?
St. Louis people were so aggrieved when the Rams lost that when the XFL came, they all rallied together around it. So they have like the best attendance in the XFL.
Oh, that's lit.
And there's one other rule I wanted to ask you guys about this: the punter. If the punt goes into the end zone, or it goes out of bounds on the sideline inside of the 35-yard line, a touchback goes all the way out to the 35. So the punter really can't kick it into the end zone, can't do any of the like coffin corner stuff to the sideline. It's all just about like punting it down the middle nice and high, and you're going to see a lot of punt returns because
it's another way to encourage punt returns.
Yeah, precision punting, and then like it's really also too on the return team. Like if you want to be ballsy, like you got to get your return. It's just like the NFL. Like you got to get the guys to down the ball before it goes in the end zone. But the fact that you're taking away the sidelines also, like punters in this league, you kind of got to showcase it's different. I don't know what this league really does for kickers. Like just like in the kicking game in general, seriously. Like punters and or field goal kickers. It's one of those things. You have odd jobs here because it's not the same mindset at all when you're kicking every single play for a punter, not having that sideline to your advantage. But, like, have we seen any kick returns yet? Were there any kick or punt returns yet?
Wasn't there one kick return for a touchdown I thought I saw?
Yeah, there was one. I can't remember what game it was in, but
it'll just be cool over the course of the season to see these rules tested in like a real football environment. Like every other sport, when they make rule changes, like baseball's rule changes recently or basketball's, they tested them in their minor league to see what worked and what didn't. So now we can do that for football too, which I think is cool.
And it does feel like the NFL is working with the XFL on some of these things, like what you said, Nate. Like the P Squad players can still play in the XFL and stuff. So it's an interesting conversation to have. Like, is the NFL kind of purposely using these rules to kind of test them out and see what works?
Yeah, but it's long overdue, and hopefully The Rock and his people, they can keep the product going well. That ends up being maybe like the NFL D League or whatever it goes.
I'm kind of in on the XFL. Dr. Fax, what about you? What do you think?
As of now, I XFL is Dr. Fax approved.
So we've got week 2. Actually, today, we've got a game tonight. The St. Louis Battlehawks, Seattle Sea Dragons, and The Rock was wearing the Arlington Renegades jersey when he made that announcement. All the teams are every single team is running training camp out of Arlington, and then they travel to each destination, which is interesting.
That was confusing for me because there is a DC team, right?
Right.
And they play at the soccer stadium.
Yeah.
Because I was like, is it Arlington, Virginia, the team? But it's not. It's
Arlington, Texas.
What's the DC team name?
DC Defenders.
The Defenders. Maybe got to catch a game.
Yeah, they play Vegas Vipers on Saturday in Vegas.
Here's what we need to do, guys. We need to petition the XFL. Let's get Chris, Dr. Fax, the Butter King. I want to call an XFL game.
You guys have in the booth. Yep,
that'd be great.
Yeah. And we'll get Fax on the sideline.
It's a perfect on the sideline.
I'll be a color guy.
The sideline interviews. They got to spice. They got to spice it up a little.
You can
bit.
chirp the offensive lineman and be like, "Yo, I played D tackle in the NFL, and I can do better than you."
Yeah, like you guys are getting like I want to talk to the guys after they get pancaked. Like, hey, you got pancaked that last series. Like, what are you gonna do better this upcoming series, or what happened on that?
Well, Nate, I'm gonna not get pancaked on this one
because it's just like if you're gonna interview guys, you got to do stuff like that because. I don't know what I would say after I got pancaked and I had to do an interview on the sideline.
It would be tough.
I would say, get the fuck out of my face, guy. I'm trying to get some Gatorade on the sideline. You come out here and take on these double T's. But I was watching it too, Reed, and it was cool because they did have the offensive coordinator and the quarterbacks were like really mic'd up, and the players did feel really accessible, like on the sidelines and stuff like that.
Which is what they're pushing. They want that feel that like that you're in the huddle with them.
Yeah, and so many teams in the NFL do such a good job of hiding all of their in-game communication and stuff like that because it gets picked by other teams and it's a competitive advantage. So it was fun to listen into the play calls and like figure out what's going on, and I just think it makes for a pretty interesting fan experience.
Right. So we'll be in on XFL the rest of the season. It's a 10-week season culminating with semifinals, 4 teams, and then a championship. But we want to talk about, so the group chat was blown up the last couple of days because we had thrown in some talk. We had just, we were throwing in news stories, and you two were the two biggest, it just seemed to be on the opposite end of the spectrum
Reed,
of each one of these.
You're just pouring gasoline on
that's exactly. I mean, that's what we're doing.
It's a discussion. Yeah. You know what I mean? And usually it just leads to me and Nate coming to a head about something, and we're both stubborn people that are never wrong. So
yeah, which is great, and it provides for great commentary when I check my phone and I've got 15 texts and it's Beau and Nate going back and forth. But the first one, we've got Clyde Edwards Helaire. He went to the New York Fashion Show instead of attending the Super Bowl parade. And Beau, you've been to a Super Bowl parade before, and you're adamant that he should not have skipped it.
No, I want to.
It was the best day of my life, man. The Super Bowl parade in Philly.
Clyde
was amazing. I wouldn't miss that for the birth of my child.
But you're also, you're also a drinker. You're also a team guy. You're also like all these things that at the end of the day.
But I'm a fashion guy too. You see me? I got some good looks. I got some drip. I could walk in the New York Fashion Week.
And so if they invited you to do that, maybe going to the parade is something you think about maybe not doing. I don't know. You also went to a wedding over going to a Drake concert, bro.
You know what? That's actually a fucking good point, but that's different. You know what I mean? Drake. I'm not skipping the Super Bowl parade for anything, man. It's you're out there with your boys and the entire city celebrating success at the highest level in your field.
Bro, but
it doesn't get any better than that.
It's not every team has outcasts. Every team has a guy that like realistically outside the locker room, I have no boys on the team. I'm not chilling with anyone on the team. And like it's cool, like as long as I'm going to the locker room and I'm playing well, like no one really cares about it. But at the same token, there's definitely guys on every single team that don't party, that don't drink, that don't like that. And it's something where you don't get paid for that parade. What if he got paid to do the fashion week?
No chance he got paid. He was just trying to get likes on Instagram,
bro,
dude.
How do you know? He's the only guy in New York after the Super Bowl. Think about how many appearance gigs you get. One guy in New York City while everyone's in Kansas City on a float. You know,
probably got to keep the clothes that he wore in the
whatever. They might be worth a lot of money, bro. You never know.
Dude, you are invincible at the Super Bowl parade, man. I'll never forget. We were up there on the buses. We were catching beers. We were
exactly, bro. For someone who doesn't drink or doesn't party?
So here's a little secret about me. I didn't drink for 3 years, 2.5 years, leading up to the Super Bowl. Did not drink. Didn't touch a sip. Not a sip.
And you
of
gave
beer.
your sobriety
Nothing.
up. Your sobriety up for the parade
in a second, dude.
You're proving my point.
That first beer at the Super Bowl parade.
You're proving my point.
That was the best beer I've ever had.
What if he's a guy who's sober and he doesn't want to ruin it? He doesn't want to do what you did.
Amazing energy, dude. I feel like I could have walked out of the bus and just beat the shit out of someone on the streets of Philly and no consequences.
Everyone would have
cheered.
Thing
wrong that day. We cheered, man.
And I mean, you saw it in the Kansas City parade. You saw Patrick Mahomes almost fall off a bus chugging a beer. You saw who was
I
that
saw
guy
my
who
buddy
climbed up the
Leo
side of the bus?
Leo Chenal.
Yeah.
He's a rookie
Yeah.
linebacker, Wisconsin guy.
Boy,
Just-
he had some bounce, didn't
Just
he?
Wolverined himself up onto that
Right
bus.
up
Like it was
there.
nothing.
And I see everyone saying that like he's maybe not a team player. And if that's the case too, I like his decision not to go either. Because if you're going to be a Debbie Downer, why should I be there knowing I'm upset? Maybe I didn't play a lot. Maybe I thought I should play over the running back who got to play. And then on top of it, the way Pacheco, everyone was cheering for him. He was dancing outside the float. Like, think about if he has internal beef about that. Bro, that's a miserable float ride, getting drunk and just being like, yeah, I won the Super Bowl, but I didn't get to do what I wanted to do. And look at this guy taking on my shine right now. Some people are like that.
Never get a chance for another Super Bowl parade, man. There's New York Fashion Week twice a year.
Bro, he got the ring, bro. It doesn't matter. Like, people don't remember who's going to be at the Super Bowl. Like, in 5 years, you think all the fans are going to remember he wasn't there? They won't remember. They're like, you don't see every single player. You don't see every player at the parade.
Who's going to remember he was at New York Fashion Week?
Maybe a lot of people. Who knows?
I cannot believe this take from you, fans.
You say you can't believe it?
No.
Why?
I'm trying to think of
parade.
things.
You should go.
I know you should, but like, it's just like, you guys have to understand. There's guys who don't party, who aren't social, who like to do other stuff.
You're
and
projecting a lot on Clyde, though. Like, we don't know that he's like anti-social diva.
I don't at all.
What if he's just a complete booze hound, man? You know, your argument falls apart.
I'm just saying, man. It's like, you don't have to. You don't necessarily. If it's not mandatory, then it's okay that he wasn't there. If he didn't get fined by the team, then honestly, it's okay he wasn't there.
I do respect how you stick to your principles.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't get that one. There's nothing I'm missing the Super Bowl.
He was like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Oh, I'm not going to get fined if I'm not here? I'm okay. Later.
Yeah, I got a runway to be on.
Yeah. So another one in the chat that was a little spicy.
Literally.
We saw it was a tweet of someone eating ribs on an airplane. He was sitting in the middle seat, I think, and he opened up a rack of ribs. This person took a picture of it and said, no way is this person eating ribs on my airplane. Beau, you had talked about the last week about how there was someone munching on Chipotle on your flight in our worst personalities draft, and how it
Is ribs a
horrible.
code
You
break?
don't eat complete code break. Like that's a sociopath move. You do not eat any sort of finger foods on an airplane. Any sort of messy finger foods, anything that's going to get drip, sauce on your hands. This guy was eating a Chipotle burrito on this flight that I was on recently, and he was just taking huge bites. It was dripping. It was
Good for him, man. Good for him.
No way.
He bought a
No
ticket just
way.
like you did, bro. And at the end of the day, if they're serving Chipotle in the airport, then I can eat it.
Ribs?
If
Maybe a
they're
burrito
serving,
bowl.
if they're
Okay, burrito bowl's
serving
fine.
ribs in the air, if there's whatever they're serving in the airport, if I can buy it in the airport, in the tunnel or in whatever the terminal, like, then it's fair game. It's fair game.
You're gonna get some sloppy ribs,
Bro, if I'm
You're gonna
hungry,
eat it
yes.
with your hands
Yes.
on an airplane.
Yes.
I would never. I could not. I can't even fathom that.
Why though, bro? Like, if you're hungry, why not?
Traveling is already uncomfortable enough. I don't want sticky barbecue sauce all over me. You're fighting for the middle armrest with this dude, and his elbows and hands are all sticky from eating ribs.
It would be
I
a
just
good
think-
way to get ownership of that.
I just think people
armrest.
sometimes are too.
his hands are busy.
Yeah.
I
You
think
just
some
go.
people are too entitled sometimes to certain things, and it's, hey, if I bought a plane ticket that you bought, like, what makes you say that I can't eat what I want to eat? Like, you just gotta deal with it. Like, as long as I'm not spilling anything on you, or if I'm not doing anything that's like getting you dirty, like, yeah, you have to endure this smell, like, while I eat this food.
Okay, you're eating. There's like leftover waste when you eat ribs. Okay.
No, it's not.
There's-
You
What do you do with that?
Bean-
What do you do with the garbage? The rib.
Bean-
the left- the
That's all you do. You're on an airplane, bro. Bean,
So you're gonna make this flight attendant take your messy.
That's their job.
Sauce-covered.
Bro, that's their job, bro.
They didn't sign up for that.
They literally did sign up for that.
Not ribs. They signed up for peanut wrappers. You know,
That's not true, man. That's
and
not
sunship
true.
wrappers. So
That's
what
not
kind
true.
of?
I think
there's
yo,
a few
I think
foods you
I
can
think
eat on airplanes.
people's
That's it.
Okay, wait. I think alcohol breath is way worse than smelling food. Is it not? Like people talking to you with alcohol breath on a plane, I think that's way worse than smelling food.
It's also easily cover-upable because
But
you
people
can
don't.
like put down a water or something.
People don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Drinking and
Facts.
people
next
love
flight
drinking.
you take, go on there with a big, big thing of ribs, some cornbread, some baked beans, some coleslaw, all
Fish
these
fillet
sloppy
guy.
sides.
Fish fillet guy.
See how many dirty looks you get.
Well, here, let's throw a few other foods we were thinking about. We'll throw Kingston and I'll throw some at you. Salads, same thing. Like any salad, you put as much dressing on it. Is that co-break? No co-break.
Bro, there's
That's
no
great.
like
You can
you
eat
got
a salad.
You can eat a salad.
This is easy for me. There's no co-break.
No co-break. So spaghetti.
Not a co-break.
You
Bo,
can't eat spaghetti on a
Can't
flight.
eat it can get a little messy, can't it? You
No,
know,
you can't.
Especially-
What are you slurping up noodles?
Yo,
on a plate?
almost
Right.
every airport,
do
most
that.
airports have Sbarro, and you can get pasta in there. So you can't eat pasta from there, bro.
Not spaghetti. Maybe like a rigatoni noodle.
All right, how about fish? I'm not talking like a fish fillet. I'm talking like straight, like a salmon. You just find,
Smelly fish.
yeah, just some
Smelly
smelly
fish.
Yeah.
Bro, listen.
I picture Fax
From-
just walking on an airplane, like cracking some crab legs.
I'll eat sushi.
Dipping
What
it
about
in some
sushi?
melted butter.
Yeah, how about sushi?
No.
I feel like
No.
sushi's
You
not a
said
code break.
no? Why?
That's a borderline one. Sushi, like fish.
I think
man,
it's
I
easy
don't wanna-
enough.
Why?
You don't want to eat fish on an airplane.
You got. But why? Like I don't
The
understand.
airplane
why.
experience is miserable enough without some dude in the middle seat next to you eating ribs and fish and sushi and fish fillet. And just
Okay,
making you resent fish.
One thing I think would be overboard is cracking and eating crabs. If you eat crabs, if you were to eat crabs on a plane, I think that is a code break because there's
jail.
no way you can eat crabs without like breaking crabs without it like flying out the way. Everything else, like at the end of the day, if you're a decent human being, you can eat without making a mess. The smell portion, I just think that at the end of the day, when you buy a flight on an airplane, wear a mask. Like you're gonna have to endure smells. Like regardless, people smell different. So
The kind of person that's going to bring ribs onto an airplane and eat them is not the kind of person that's going to eat them tidily.
but like, okay, so is this different? Like if you're in first class versus coach? So you mean like, so if I'm in first class with ribs, is it a different situation than me sitting in coach with ribs?
I don't think so. I think it's the ribs. It's not the seat.
Because you don't think people in first class, you don't think they're eating all different kinds of shit up there?
No
Like,
chance.
you said no
You think they're up
chance?
there eating, what are they up there eating in your mind? Like,
Whatever they want. They're
Yeah.
spending mad bread.
They're
So
like,
it's
"Oh,
just
I'm in first class. I'm eating."
In my mental, I'll eat whatever I want if I'm in first class.
They're probably eating nachos, a
should be
plate
on
of
the do not
loaded
fly list.
nachos.
No, you can't eat nachos on a flight. That's another one. No. You can the only finger food that you can, or not finger food you use your hands for to eat on a flight is a sandwich. That's it. Nothing
Okay,
else.
I think that's fair. I think a sandwich on a flight is fair. All right. So this is another group chat, big fiery take. Let me read this out. You're in an arena with 50 hawks, 10 crocodiles, 3 brown bears, 15 wolves, 1 hunter with a rifle, 7 buffalo, 10,000 rats, 5 gorillas, 4 lions. You have to pick 2 to defend you. The others all attack you. The goal is to survive 1 hour.
This is easy.
Fax got mad at me because I said I'm picking 20,000 rats.
Because you're what you call it. You're not reading the rules. But
You know how many rats that is?
no, I
20,000.
get it.
Yeah.
You got to pick 2 to defend
lot.
you, though. I get it. But at the end of the day, I think the right answer, like the only right answers, they have to involve the 10,000 rats. Because I don't think you said no. Like
I'll give you mine at the end.
Because at the end of the day, I think 10,000 rats and 3 brown bears are gonna do it. Only because
Bears are lazy, man.
The bear will
Maybe.
hibernate.
Yeah, bears are lazy.
maybe, but I still don't think 50 hawks are taking down 3 brown bears, no matter what they do.
Well, Kingston has a good.
That's
What's
how
your
I
goals?
look at it.
Can
And in my head, do you think you can survive 2,000 rats like by yourself?
2,000?
No, I would kill myself.
Huh?
I'd kill myself.
So
run like they're not that
my only
fast.
thing. Like when you're thinking about what you're going against, like it's like the hunter with the rifle. Like even if he's a marksman, it's just like you can't do anything with that many rats.
Dude, with that many rats, you just climb somewhere high to where like only a certain amount can come at you at once, and just grab a broom, and then you're just sweeping.
But you're in an arena,
rats,
so you can't
those
go
rats are
somewhere
going to
high.
overwhelm you, man.
You climb up on the side
arena.
of the thing. You're sweeping. Bo, what do you have? What's your answer?
Okay, I thought about this like for way too long, honestly. Like I'm thinking about all these different scenarios, all these different animals. Okay, here's what I'm going with. 10,000 rats is a must. You need those rats. That's so many rats. So I don't know how big this arena is, but in my mind I was kind of picturing like hockey rink size, you know, kind of in close. If it's a UFC octagon, that's a completely different scenario. So I'm going 10,000 rats because they're just going to overwhelm people. They're going to like
thinking like
swarm over you.
Pokemon arena, bro. Like bigger.
Okay.
Yeah, bigger.
But 10,000 rats, they're going to like just swarm over you. Like I'm picturing these feral rats. You know, like the scarab beetles in the movie The Mummy franchise?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm picturing them like crawling all over, just overwhelming. So rats for sure is a must pick. And then 15 wolves. 15 wolves. Wolves are like, that's a pack. You know, they're going to work together. That's a coordinated effort from these wolves. So like 15 wolves versus one hunter with a rifle. He's got a rifle, man. Like, you know how many bullets you got in that clip? 15 wolves. Some big timber wolves and 10,000 rats. That's a pretty good.
That's substantial.
I'm feeling pretty good about that.
I see what you guys are doing. I
want to change mine.
I got some creative problem solving, I think, though. So I definitely don't like the hunter with the rifle because fuck the hunter with the rifle. But I am going to choose him on my team, and then I'm also going to choose the 50 hawks. I'm going to have the 50 hawks come latch onto my clothing, fly me up into the air so that none of these land animals can get to me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to let the land animals kill the hunter. I just don't want him to shoot me while I'm in the air. Then I'm good.
Wow.
Wait.
You think you can train 50 hawks to kind of carry you?
It says that they will protect me, so I think they could carry me.
I have to rethink this. I'm going with the 5 gorillas.
That right?
because I'm thinking about it.
They're protective and they're smart.
Yes, the gorillas, the 5 gorillas. If you get 5 big gorillas and maybe 3 brown bears, and 3 of those gorillas riding those bears, bro, it's over. You're stomping on all those rats.
Exactly.
Like those gorillas.
Gorillas
can
just
literally
tap dance.
use-
You can bring as many rats as you want. They're tap dancing.
They'll literally use the other animals. They'll probably take one of those wolves and like use them as weapons to like knock down these hawks and
Hulk smash.
yeah, man. Because even if you switch it up, gorillas can probably. I think 5 gorillas versus 3 brown bears. I'm liking the gorillas. Like to
monkeys are strong too. Facts. Like you
Very,
guys ever read
very
about this?
strong.
Really strong.
St. James Davis. You know who that is?
No.
Okay, this is a fascinating and morbid tale. St. James Davis is a NASCAR driver. Him and his wife could not have children, so they adopted a chimpanzee named Mo. Don't ask me how I got into this. Like I'm telling you, they adopted a chimpanzee named Mo. Mo bit a couple people and got put into like the state. He lived with them. Like they like clothed him, they fed him. He was like their child. Kind of weird, but whatever.
This is
a real life thing that happened.
I thought
so,
this sounds like the start of the Planet of the Apes, bro.
Well, just dude, listen, it gets fucking horrible. So Mo is in like a chimpanzee, I don't know, sanctuary basically, and they would go visit him. They visited him for his birthday, brought him like some birthday cake, stuff like that. 2 chimpanzees escaped and attacked this dude and his wife, St. James Davis, and he was horribly like maimed and disfigured. Look it up. So maybe we're sleeping on these chimpanzees and gorillas, but
No, I don't sleep on them. Like I think if you watch videos, chimps and gorillas are very, very scary, and they can rip your limbs off, and
they're strong.
They'll throw shit at you for fun. Like they're pretty scary.
But how many
going with
rats?
Reed?
How many rats can one gorilla take out?
Oh, it doesn't matter. They're tap dancing.
Yeah.
They're just.
See, that's the one thing because the gorillas are more like human beings. I think they can overcome
And they've got
Each
you know how
gorilla's
big
got
their
to take
paws
out
are?
2,000 rats.
That isn't a
2,000
problem.
rats.
That's not a problem.
2,000 rats.
I don't think
Boom,
so. Yeah.
boom, boom,
Donkey
boom,
Kong,
boom.
all
Yeah,
the shit,
literally
bro.
all
Just
over the place.
Donkey
They just go
Kong.
bounce. Boom,
No.
bounce, boom.
I
Bounce.
think
That
so,
girl's gonna
man.
get tired. Those girls are gonna get tired.
Not
and
a
those rats
chance.
are gonna just swarm them. What do you got,
re-
Reed?
So real fast with St. James Davis, Buddy and Ollie were the two chimpanzees. LaDonna Davis lost her thumb, and St. James Davis was brutally mauled, resulting in permanent disfigurement and missing extremities.
Okay, look up the missing extremities though, because I was reading that and I was like, missing extremities? They fucking rip his arm off? Like
No,
that's,
they
that sounds-
definitely ripped his
That
penis
sounds
off.
very vague. Exactly.
I already know they do
Oh,
that shit.
God.
Like they do that
Exactly.
shit. Like that's their shit. Like
He has a glass eye also, and two slits in the middle of his face where his nose once was.
yeah, animals know what to do, yo. Animals know what to do.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, why are you fucking with me?
Yeah, man, gorillas are smart. I think I'd do the gorillas and a hunter. But I think that would be the move. So we mentioned Chris is in Africa, but he still has access to the internet, and he shot us a quick tweet that he wanted to make sure was commented on. We've got a picture of Dom Capers at the podium. And he, obviously, Carolina Panthers coach. He's speaking of the changes since the franchise started in 1995 with a very interesting hair style. Hair plug-in to the max, pretty much. What do you guys see in this image?
Yo, he got that bird's nest up there right now. Like what? It's super full.
Like no one probably said anything to him in the building, right? Like I like to
not a
picture
chance.
that he just showed up with this, and
Yeah.
like all the players like pass him in the hallways, like kind of like double taking, and then just roasting the fuck out of him.
You
in
know
the
his,
locker room.
his significant other told him he looked amazing
Oh.
with it on. You look great, honey.
It really looks like he took Joe Lunardi's hair. I'm not saying Joe Lunardi has a plug or not, but it looks exactly Joe Lunardi's.
But why does it look like he has a clean shape up though with it?
He's got that
I
Lego
mean,
hair.
it's all
you know what I'm
it's
talking
all
about?
plastered on. He glued that shit right on, and it's all staying in place. It
Looks
ain't
like
moving.
Howard Cosell from
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
He just needs to take that flight to Turkey, yo, and get the hair plugs. Turkey's like the area that I see everyone going, like to get hair plugs. I think there was just like a photo online going viral. It's just like you see all the girls coming from Colombia or the DR getting their bodies done.
Right,
Like,
right.
They'll be on the flight on their knees because they can't sit on their butt because they just got it done. And it's like, look at all these people flying, and there was just a picture of a bunch of guys with that tape on the back of their neck from getting the hair plugs, like the real hair plug surgery, and they're all coming from Turkey.
Ugh.
And I was just like, if you could do that now, some of these guys, like, why don't you just do that instead of this? Like the fake hair and like glue and the paint stuff, it's just like you're like we're in 4K now. It's just
Yeah.
like you
gotta-
you can't get away with this stuff anymore.
I mean, look at
gotta
that
let it go,
hairline.
man.
That is just literally like straight across. Like whoever did it just drew a Sharpie line. It was like, I'm cutting everything on this.
What's the stuff called? The black guys be getting it. The spray. Like Carlos Boozer did it. God, I can't think of it right now. But it's like a barber spray, and it looks like that's what he has on there under there. And
Yeah.
it's just like, what happens if you're in the lights if you do a interview for too long, you're gonna start sweating that shit down your forehead.
Right.
Melting.
Like that's what it feels like.
I think
That's
Rudy
what-
Giuliani
That's
had
what
that
Rudy
melted.
Giuliani.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Let it go. You know?
Go.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Pop on a team issue Carolina had.
Yeah.
You know.
We've got a little draft replacements. Not that we're replacements out here, but best replacements in everyday life. You can kind of make anything work. We were creative here. We had a good bit of fun. We're gonna go Beau first, Nate, me, Kingston,
Great.
and 4 picks each, 4 rounds. Snake draft.
No, let's just do regular.
Right, straight up.
First
Beau,
pick.
Beau, you are on the board, on the clock.
First pick. Man, stressful. All right. Replacements. I'm going in my 30s. So, going out, it's a little tough. You're a little hungover sometimes. So I'm going replacing booze with weed.
Ooh,
That's a great one.
that is a real good one.
First pick.
Something I chose to do a long time ago. And anytime I dibble back into drinking, I realize that Smoking is a way better replacement.
Drinking is a young man's game.
Yeah, it is.
Nate, what you got?
Okay, so I am going with, because when I was younger, it always used to fool me. I am going with eggplant replacing chicken. So for like chicken parm, and if you have a real good eggplant parm cooked, I think it's a really good replacement. And if you're vegan or if you don't eat any type of meat or whatever it is, I think eggplant is a good replacement. It's not something that
probably a little healthier.
Yeah, it's very healthy, but it's good in taste.
Yeah,
and I think for me, it's a good.
And it's probably fun to cook too, right?
Eggplant, yeah, I think.
You can also eat it on airplanes, you know?
Oh, do you think that's acceptable, eggplant?
Any vegetables are acceptable on airplanes.
So if I just was fisting holding a raw eggplant, just biting into an eggplant next to you, that is totally fine versus ribs.
I mean, you might end up on a no-fly list somehow, but I think that's like, I'd rather take eggplant guy over ribs guy.
Eggplant is a... Yeah, I haven't had much eggplant, but that sounds like a good replacement. I'm going to go Cash App as a replacement for your money transfers.
Wow. Say the other one.
We won't name what we're replacing, but everyone knows you need Cash App. You need to download Cash App. It makes it way easier to transfer your money. You can even win some money from Greenlight.
I like that.
And Cash App throws awesome parties. So Cash App is my replacement. My first.
Wow, you see how quickly Reed switched into like ad read mode right there? That's pretty good.
I love it.
Hey man, we use our platforms. Kingston.
You're making me feel bad about my pick, but I'm gonna go with if you can't get laid, masturbation.
That was definitely on my list. That was definitely on my list too.
This is a family podcast, Matt. How dare you?
I mean, hey. That is a good replacement, but actually, is it nowadays, bro? There's better replacements than masturbation, bro. You can get one of those dolls.
We had a doll in here. I don't know where it went. Where did it go? One was delivered. Where did the other one go?
Like the real dolls, like the real silicone dolls.
I wonder. So I know Chris is really against robots. I wonder if there's going to be a robot.
They have them already.
Do they really?
I think so.
Oh, didn't we talk about it here?
Yeah.
I think we talked about it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's robot sex dolls. Beau, you're up. Pick number 2.
This one's a little specific. So my truck's been in the shop for a long, long time up in Minnesota, which is frustrating. But I've been down here in Tampa, no car, and I've been driving my moped around everywhere, and it is amazing. So replacing your car with a moped.
Nice.
Try it out a little bit. It's fun. It's flirty. You got your hair blown in the wind.
Bro, that would be perfect for you. That's right in your alley.
It rains a lot in Tampa. So what are you doing when it rains on that moped, bro?
I got solutions. I got in my little under my seat, you know, where like you're supposed to put a helmet. I got a wet bag and a big old raincoat, man. I'll pull over. It starts to rain. I pull over on the side, pop that bad boy open, and throw on my little raincoat, and I'm good to go.
That's not the issue of
Some
being
ski goggles
on that while you're driving. It's just like the other cars, don't they kick up like water on you, no?
Not really. I mean, I'm sticking to some back roads and
right,
stuff.
Yeah, you're not doing long trips.
Yeah,
Give us what's your moped? What are the specs on your moped? Do we have a nice suspension?
Yamaha 2016 Yamaha Zuma Cherry Red.
Nice.
49 cc's. No motorcycle license needed. I'm cruising around on the thing and I love it.
What
I like to drive by like dudes on their hardcore motorcycles, Harleys and stuff, and give them a little 2-finger wave down low. They're always so confused, like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
You need to, if you haven't done it already, you need to use one of your old football helmets as your actual helmet. You could take off the bar and maybe put like a 1 bar, like the old school like 60s helmet, but ride around with, like Eagles 1 bar.
That one in the back, you see that? Yeah, I'll take that.
I'll
cruise around my moped.
Right, cherry red. Or cherry red. The Bucks helmet might work pretty well.
Yeah, color coordination on the moped.
Bring it back from college. Use a Wisconsin helmet.
Yeah, now we're talking.
There you go.
All right, Nate, what you got?
All right, I got for my next replacement. I got Tom Brady replacing Drew Bledsoe. if that's not one of the greatest replacements, and then he has a chance, Tom Brady, to do it again because who is he going to replace?
Greg Olsen.
He's potentially going to replace Greg Olsen, and if he does a great job there, because Greg's doing an awesome job. So if Tom Brady steps in and he's just automatically is killing it with broadcasting, like he's just going to be like the ultimate, like really the ultimate replacement if you think about it on all levels.
Yeah, everywhere he goes, replace Drew Henson in college. You know, just can't stop. I'm going to go my number 2 pick. I'm going to go. We're doing 4.
Yes, sir.
Or I'm going to go Sierra Mist for Sprite.
I hate that pick.
I hate that pick.
I know I don't drink much soda. Do it if I need to stay awake or something. But yeah, Sierra Mist. It's a way cooler name. You know, Sprite's a cool name, but Sierra Mist.
You know what's knocking them out of the park?
Huh?
Right now, Starry.
What is that?
Look it up. A new lemon lime drink, and all it's proven to me that Starry's getting more popular is that for sodas, no matter what the equation is, you can't go wrong with lemon and lime.
Oh, yeah, not at all. Not at all.
Like, you really can't. Like, whether it's more lime or more lemon, I don't know how they do it for Sprite or Sierra Mist, but they're all pretty decent, to be honest.
That's a cool can.
Yeah, no, Starry's, like, they've been having, like, cool commercials and like, good marketing, but they've been popping up more.
Sprite owns
Didn't they have a Super Bowl commercial?
I think they did.
Yeah. I got to try that out.
But honestly, Sprite, if you're going to go with Sprite, like, I can't lie. There's something about McDonald's Sprite that is like,
you are not wrong.
It's honestly
you are not
different
wrong,
than all the other
They
Sprites.
put something into their Sprite, man, at all
locations. It's not
locations.
just their Sprite, it's their Coke too. They put too much syrup in it.
The carbonation or something is like turned all the way up because you can take a small sip of their sodas and it's like you get that burp or that nose flare, and it feels good. It feels refreshing.
Oh, it's so good, and it's at all McDonald's everywhere. It doesn't matter where you are. Like other, their nuggets could be a little different. Their fries are a little different.
The Sprite,
the Sprite is always hits.
You ever go to the restaurant and you like order a soda and the waitress will say, "Oh, we don't have Sprite. Is Sierra Mist okay?" That's one where I'll be like, I'll just take a water.
I actually know a lot of people who do that, and then like, for a lot of people who drink Pepsi, like won't drink Coke like either, and I think that's funny.
Yeah, just straight.
I'll drink Pepsi, but I don't like to drink it. All right, I'm up next. I don't know if any of you guys have been in this situation where you've got weed, but you don't have a device to smoke it. Have not done this in a long, long time, but you can use an apple. Sub an apple for a bowl. Beautiful.
Probably gives a little flavor to it also, right?
Little MacGyver action.
Yeah, you get the fun of making it, stabbing it with a pencil.
Yeah. It's a good, like,
hands-on.
You can still have your, conversation while you're whittling your apple, right?
And then you can eat it when you're done.
Yeah. Perfect.
Not bad.
Terrible.
Cool. I like that.
It would be such a terrible way to smoke.
Bo.
All right, so bear with me on this one. This is kind of a chain of events in terms of replacements. So we all know that Blockbuster, was replaced by Netflix and streaming, right? So but nowadays there's too many streaming services. It's too diversified, okay? You got Netflix, you got Hulu, you got HBO Max, you got Apple TV, you got Amazon Prime, you got Paramount, you got all this shit, right? So instead of doing that, I'm replacing that by just pirating all this fucking shit online. That's what we got, baby.
Going backwards.
I'm putting on my eye patch. I'm torrenting all these shows, all this media. You can get
You better be careful.
ebooks.
You remember
can get whatever you need.
You end up on a Pepsi commercial. You remember when they started giving out free downloads and they had all the people who got caught for pirating?
Yeah.
Like there was like a Super Bowl commercial like that. They had like
They're
7
calling
or 6
them out.
people. And I was just thinking about that, like how embarrassing it would be to fucking
You're sitting there, and boom,
trouble.
there's your name. Yep.
Get in trouble, like get in real trouble
Yeah.
for downloading music.
You remember how all those piracy things they went out like you go to the movie theaters
bear
and
shit.
You wouldn't steal a car.
Yeah. Why are you stealing? And it's like the real sketchy. This is early 2000s, I think. You're sitting in the movie theaters, and right before the previews, it's like you wouldn't steal. Piracy is illegal.
But look, now that you think about it, now that we're kind of like in that industry, it's just like, would you care if they found a way to bootleg the Green Light Pod?
Yeah, it'd be fucked.
The show is free, so I wouldn't care.
This is a bootleg pod right now, boys. Chris in here.
Exactly. We're bootlegging it.
That's how it is.
Nate, what you got for your third pick?
All right, my third pick, I have another like real replacement, and it's gonna be Matt might like this. It's gonna be John Stockton replacing Isaiah Thomas on the Dream Team because Jordan and Pippen at that time did not like Isaiah Thomas, and so they got him out of there.
I met the criteria to be selected, but I was not selected.
He was so
he's so salty.
But like him and Jordan, like just being competitors and being petty like they were, like for Jordan to do that, I think that's kind of funny. But at the same time, Isaiah, like that whole beef between
the Jordan rules.
Yeah, the Bulls and Detroit, like they were really trying to hurt Jordan. So like I really don't blame him. Like at the end of the day, like I get the last laugh, and I don't want to be anywhere near you, and I don't want you to get any of this shine when we create this amazing team that you're not going to be a part of.
I'm going to go number 3. I'm going to go Daphne Reed replacing Janet Hubert on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as Vivian Banks.
Oh,
wait, you like the second one?
Yeah.
Light
Daphne
skin
Reed?
Aunt Viv for dark skin Aunt Viv. So you like dark skin Aunt Viv, or wait, it went dark skin to light skin,
Right?
Yeah.
Daphne Reed because no one liked Janet. Everyone on the show didn't like Janet. Like behind the scenes, she was like causing a lot of drama and all that stuff.
Oh no, but the first Aunt Viv is the one that did that dance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. No, I'm not rocking with that. That's a bad one. But hey, to each his own, man. To each his own.
Yeah.
That dance was iconic, and
Absolutely.
the second Aunt Viv couldn't have did that.
No, I'm
dance.
team.
But
first
she,
Aunt Viv.
right? She was, more well liked behind the scenes. I'm all about cohesiveness, cohesion, and everyone getting along behind the scenes to make the product better.
I hear that.
All right, I'm sure you guys probably have some books sitting around your house that you don't read, as I do. If you ever have a Zoom meeting, using your books to elevate your computer is a great replacement for like a laptop stand.
Nice. I like that.
That's practical.
I think everyone's done that before, for sure.
Yeah, we've talked.
That's what I got.
Chris
my
through it a
camera
couple
right here, all
times.
my textbooks from college. Rest
Oh
You didn't, and they still haven't been opened.
man.
Yeah, exactly.
That made me think about one. I'm gonna give a replacement.
Wait.
Well, hold on.
Oh,
It's
it's not
Beau's
my
turn.
How many more do we have? 'Cause I got
Last one.
One.
last one.
But we can hit some honorable mentions
Yeah.
after.
Okay.
Matt just made me think of a good one.
All right. I got one here. So we all know your boy loves candy. Okay. You're sitting on your couch. You're deep in the couch. You're watching some pirated flicks, and you're like, man, I could really use something. Should probably go on a snack run, but I don't want to get up. Replacing the snack run with this app, GoPuff.
Oh,
To
Smart.
die for. Huge, big GoPuff guy. Kind of begging GoPuff for a sponsorship on the pod, but great service. People will run you that shit over in like 30 minutes. Great candy selection, and they've kind of branched out into some other, some other convenience store items too. So
I think I'm
GoPuff over
embarrassed.
Snack Run.
I think I'm embarrassed how much money I spent on GoPuff. Not gonna lie.
We did it. What?
no,
How many live streams in a row did we do it when Beau was in town? We were
Oh
just
my
go
God.
puff, go puff, go puff.
Amazing.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. And then now, like they you can get cigarettes and blunts on there now, and it's like lights out for me. Like everything you need on there, and it's just like, hey, I gotta pay an extra $1.50, $2 for some stuff, but hey, it's the convenience. If I don't have to get up, and you're gonna bring that right to my door, and then I love to just leave it and text me that it's at my door. I love that feature. Don't knock on my
No
door.
interaction.
Like, don't call me. Just send a nice text and a picture. Like, hey, I left it.
But don't leave it in the bushes.
Don't leave it in the bushes. That's the
Well,
way.
like imagine like a world like 200 years ago where it's like, yeah, all you got to do is, open up this device, click like 3 or 4 buttons in 30 seconds, and 30, 40 minutes later, someone will drop off whatever you need at your door. You don't have to move. Amazing.
Okay. So I'm rounding it up. My last pick, I'm going with, for the big people out there, instead of bed risers, using cinder blocks. In college, I use 4 cinder blocks instead of using the bed risers, so you can have room under your bed to have extra space. But the cinder blocks are extra sturdy. So like if you're someone that you're doing a lot of motion on your bed, when you're a big guy, you can break beds, or beds can be unstable, and using 4 cinder blocks at the corners of your bed will keep everything stable. It'll also give you a nice lift off the ground, so you have some extra storage space under your bed. So replacing cinder blocks with bed risers.
So, but doesn't that? I don't know. I feel like I would stub my toe to hell on those cinder blocks more than on bed risers.
Maybe like, what are you doing? You jumping into bed like a kid? Like,
No, I'm just walking around the bed. I'm walking around the bed. I stub my toe in a lot of shit.
Like how close are you walking to your bed? Like walking around your bed?
Well, pretty close. It's on my shin.
I feel like stubbing your toe, like you do it anyway on your bed, like here and there. So it's just like,
Not if you, dude. This is how I do it. I just drop mattress straight on the floor. Straight. There's no room, nothing under the bed. I mean, like you have the mattress on top of the box frame or whatever, but it's right on the floor. Nothing can get under. No monsters under your bed. They can't get in.
You're a psychopath if you have your mattress straight on the floor.
Oh,
I just
I
want to
love
let
it.
you know that.
I love it.
I just want to let you know that. I don't doubt it, but like I just want to let you know I would think about you a little bit differently if you just had your mattress straight on the bed.
Here's another one that you might think of me as a psychopath. Bidets for toilet paper, 1,000%.
You like that? You like that? You like that? Getting that
like
super.
that.
Yeah, river butt.
That
Yeah, it's a nice
super
little wash.
soaker
Yeah, super
stream
soaker.
on your
Exactly.
butthole.
Yeah, but it's a breezy super soaker. It's like a fountain, like a nice soft fountain.
Yeah, they have bidets that'll even heat the water up.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
Bidets.
It's a spa
you can-
experience.
It really is, and they're inexpensive. You can get little attachments for your toilet, and
So why don't we get one for the toilet here? We should install one before Chris gets back.
yeah, and see. Yeah,
That would
I think we
actually be
should.
hilarious.
That would be funny.
We should install
Crank
one.
we didn't crank the pressure way
But
up.
I-
for his
I'm-
Make
first-
it,
I've
make it
never-
automatic though.
I've never used a bidet, and I don't think like I'm comfortable. Like people use a bidet and they just don't they still don't wipe.
No,
just-
you wipe.
No,
after.
yeah,
You
you
wipe.
wipe.
You
But-
get the water off.
Yeah, and you do like one sheet. Like use less toilet paper kind of thing. And it's just like it's all clean,
It is
a little cleaner.
Good for conservation.
Yeah.
Matt,
All right,
last pick.
I got the last pick of the draft day. One of my favorite characters of all time is Wolverine in X-Men. It was originally cast as this guy Doug Ray Scott, but I cannot imagine it as anybody other than Hugh Jackman. It's a great replacement.
Really, yeah, and he has owned that
Yeah,
character.
I feel like we could have gone down the actor path
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
What's your
Brad Pitt was
what's your
supposed to
honorable
be
mention?
Neo. Oh, I got a lot of honorable mentions.
Let's hear
You
him.
said Brad Pitt for who?
and let me.
Brad Pitt was supposed to be Neo in The Matrix, but
Yeah.
he turned it down.
Oh.
Keanu Reeves got the role, and I think he kind of killed it.
So
Yeah.
Ludacris taking over for Ja Rule. Ja Rule is in the first Fast and Furious, and it just happened to be when he was blowing up. So when they started recording the second one, the budget they had for Ja Rule wasn't enough for him to leave tour, and they put Ludacris in there, and Ludacris has been in there ever since. And his character is like one of my favorite characters in that whole series.
Oh, he's great.
Like
Tej Parker.
hands down. But Ja Rule was pretty funny in the first one. Menage! When he's racing, he's just pretty funny in the first one when he's in it. But that was a good replacement.
The girls want to go see the pigs. We're gonna see the fucking pigs.
What other? I had a couple other honorable mentions on a buzz through. Zin for tobacco.
That's a great one.
Kind of easy.
I don't like that.
I also I've been really trying to work this insult in lately, like replacing calling someone like an idiot or something like that, calling them a muppet. I really like that. Calling someone a fucking muppet, you fucking muppet. I'm a big fan of that one. Another one I had was substitute teacher over your actual teacher, because you know they're not really trying to do shit. They're just phoning it in for the day, so like you don't really have to do much in class. Brilliant. And then replacing, wearing a condom instead of having a child. Seems like another good one for me, but those ones kind of got left out.
Yeah, because you don't want to bring a baby on a plane.
What about the XFL replacing the NFL?
We'll see how that goes. Talk to me in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Matt, did you have any extras?
A couple. Like, if LG ever needs a replacement, Nate can fill in for him.
Pretty good.
I like that.
You ever not have a mirror and you use the knife, like the side of the knife, and you look at your face and the side of the knife?
You need a fat knife, but yeah.
You guys have fancy. You got fancy china at your house to do that, bro?
I guess so. That was a good draft, guys.
Yeah.
I liked it. I was thinking that we could finish with one thing that Reed and I were just looking on Twitter.
So let me run back through. So we had Nate had eggplant replacing chicken, Tom Brady replacing Drew Bledsoe, John Stockton replacing Isaiah Thomas on the Dream Team, and cinder blocks for a bed frame. Cowboy had Cash App instead of Cash, Sierra Mist for Sprite, Aunt Viv in what the hell is the show? Fresh Prince. And bidets for toilet paper. Kingston had Can't Get Laid for masturbation for Can't Getting Laid. Apple for a bowl. Books as a laptop stand. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. And Beau went replacing booze with weed. Moped for a car. Pirating over streaming services. And replacing Snack Run with GoPuff. Great draft and great replacements pod. We'll sign off, and you'll be back on Tuesday. Macon's going to continue the replacement pod. He'll have a couple guests.
Yeah.
Let us know if you liked Fax and Beau together.
And then make sure you guys check us out on AMP.
Yeah, AMP 4:30. Yeah, that's right. 4:30 this afternoon. We'll be on AMP and having a good time. So back on Tuesday. Y'all enjoy.
Listen to the full podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast streaming platforms. Wherever you want to get the podcast, you can get the podcast. Pretty simple. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Podcasts get pretty wild. This is real tame.